What's happening, everybody? We welcome you into a finals/semifinals, depending on your fandom edition. San Diego Prep Insider Christian Pedersen, Tommy Morris, Bodie De Silva joining us on behalf of Scorebook Live. I probably do it a disservice by putting the microphone directly in front of their advertising. Oh, well, we try, but not incredibly hard here at this podcast.
I'll get this just put in here.
If I will say, we do, however, have somebody in this room who a couple weeks ago, everyone was like, oh, I don't know why he wants to put that on tape, saying that Granite is going to be Carlsbad. And now Tommy Morris looks like, he's got the crystal ball that he is tapped in.
Maybe I've earned my SB Live sweatshirt. I don't know.
Yes.
We'll take it up with the higher ups.
Yes. Well, Bodie probably has plenty. If not, we'll get you a CIF one. If not, we will get you something. We will get you a San Diego Prep Insider 2016 Dunkfest shirt or something.
Do we still have those?
There's a couple.
Those were cool. That took way too much effort to not be. Dang it! I really should distribute those better. That was one of my best ideas that I didn't really follow through on.
There's a couple of different versions of shirts left in storage here. All right, so before we go any further, also got to point out that there is the first ever girls flag football championship. Since this is a football show, we will acknowledge that is happening. We are sorry that we don't have this level of prepared analysis or anything like that for you, but just be on the look for that. Congrats to the teams that are going to be put down in history as the first ever champions. I'm sure Bodie will have something on it as if Torrey Pines wins. If not, then
my prediction is that two teams will be crowned champions tomorrow.
But moving on to the guys finals, we've got divisions 6, 5 AA, 5 and open playing their finals this week. We've got 1 through 4 playing their semifinals, a whole lot to get to. Let's start with the championship rounds. Let's start with 5 AA. Vincent Memorial beats Hoover 47-21. So, a tough test, but a definitive win for Vincent Memorial. Then Sweetwater beats El Cajon Valley pretty decisively 38-15, setting up Vincent Memorial and Sweetwater for the Division 5 championship. Tommy, your thoughts?
Sorry, I thought you said 5 AA, so I was having a panic attack.
My apology. I said 5, but then I cut
okay.
Chronologically, which one?
Okay.
Friday, the 17th, 7:30, Escondido High School. That is on me. That is me filibustering to give you time, Tommy. Let's start with the Friday games. We'll move then into the Saturday games. Vincent Memorial, Sweetwater, Division 5, please.
Yeah, not to preface what I'm about to say from 5 AA, but the desert teams come out and show out in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again. Vincent Memorial, Jacobo Elias, almost 400 total yards and 4 touchdowns in their semifinal game. I like Vincent Memorial here. And again, that's just a little preface of what I might say in about 2 minutes.
Bodie De Silva, your thoughts on the Division 5 game Friday night, Escondido High School.
Yeah, I like Vincent Memorial as well. Both teams have been really powerful offensively in their first 2 rounds. And it's certainly, I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think this is high scoring. I'll go Vincent Memorial. Let's go maybe a weird score. Let's go 40-32.
Congratulations, Sweetwater, on the
division. Oh, let me do a score then. Hold on.
I'm scoregami.
Let me go. I'll go 27-16.
Not a 12-5 game.
Yeah. 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. 5-3. A solid base between those two schools also, if that was a D5 championship. 5 AA Saturday. This is the afternoon matinee edition, 1 p.m. Escondido High School, Holtville and Army Navy Academy. I don't know, Bodie, if you have anything close to the ability to weigh in on this stat-wise, because you are our stats and information department, but I don't know the last time that both semifinal games were shutouts. Holtville 49-0 over Maranatha, Army Navy 50-0 over Tri-City Christian. I guess you go Army Navy just because they put up the 50 and Holtville only put up 40. I don't know. This seems like the chalk played out. We've got 1 versus 2. Bodie, let's start with you. How do you pick this one?
Yeah, not just shutouts, but running clock as dominant as you can be.
Demonstrative wins.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go with Army Navy. I think I just trust what they have up front with 2 Division I players. We've talked about Radamana a ton on here. I think he'll make his presence known. I don't think Holtville has played anyone at that level this year that they'll kind of have to identify and make sure where he is at all times. So I'm going to go Army Navy. I think this game's played in the 20s. I think it's 1 possession game, but I think Army Navy comes out in front.
So far in this bracket, road teams have only put up 3 touchdowns between all the games. Tommy Morris, your thoughts?
There are no road teams in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Touche. Well played.
So we'll see points either way.
They both road teams.
Neutral site. They're both neither. we don't call it. I don't know. They're not home. Neither. There's no home teams either. So I guess no. They're who knows. We're in some sort of purgatory situation here. But I'm going to take a team from Desert. I kind of hinted at it earlier. I'm going to take Holtville. They like to run the ball. This is going to be low scoring. I think the team with least mistakes wins. I know this would be a shock the world type thing, but I agree with Bodie. It'll be low scoring. I think it'll be 1 possession, but I like Holtville here. Give me 20-15.
Ooh. Are those missed PATs? Are those field goals? Or are those 2-point conversions?
Mixed bag.
All right, fair enough. I like it. Let's stay in the and let's continue on to open, which will be Saturday night, Snapdragon Stadium. It's going to be Lincoln, Granite Hills after, juxtaposing a semifinals round of complete shutouts. This was a semifinals round, also probably of historical importance, as it was both overtime games. Granite with a crazy win against Carlsbad. Lincoln needing to come back and hold off a last-second win or hold off a last-second fourth-quarter drive, then win in overtime against Helix. So we've got Lincoln, Granite Hills for the championship. A pair of teams who, Bodie, have not lost now in almost 2 full seasons, if not a little bit more. Where are we at?
Yeah, I believe the total winning streak is 44, 24, and 20, if I'm correct on that. So
somebody's winning streak is going to be coming to an end. Bodie, give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah. First, I need to hear which staffs want more motivation so I can pick on the other side on that one. With that said, no, I mean, what Granite did last week was so impressive. I think each week has gone by, they've kind of made more believers out of everyone, whether it was during this streak, 20 in a row now, 4 of those in overtime. What they kind of, every time that they have a tough situation, they step up and come through with what's needed. But then at Lincoln on the other side, I mean, last week was the first time all year that they've really had a tough test. They came through, they got done with what they needed there at the end. I'll go with Lincoln here, but I think this is one where a real toss-up comes down at the end, and whether it's a missed extra point, someone goes for 2, I think that's just going to come into play. So
world.
with that said, we'll go Lincoln by a point here. We'll go 38-37.
Tommy Morris, your thoughts?
I do want to apologize for a tweet I had yesterday. I had a misinformed rule from a referee, so I'm blaming the referee on that one. But not all referees. Not all referees are bad. So everyone apply to referees who don't have all these Thursdays.
Just the ones with stripes.
Yeah, just the ones who do games of 2021 who told me the wrong thing about clocks. Anyway, yes. Granite Hills, Max Stern, Paul Jackson rushed for over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns in the semifinal game at Carlsbad. I'm sure a lot of us got to watch it because it was a Thursday game. Exciting finish, little swinging gate, fly sweep to win the game for Paul Jackson. Absolutely incredible. For Lincoln, beating Helix in a similar fashion, as if, close game. Drayden Gardner, 110 rushing yards, but on the ground for Lincoln was really impressive. Reed, Jackson, Williams combined for 6 rushing touchdowns. Man, should I do it? Yeah, I should do it. I'm going to take Granite Hills here in the shocking upset. I keep picking shocking upsets, but I haven't been wrong yet, so I got to keep doing them. Granite Hills, I think it'll be more low scoring than people realize. I think it's going to be a game and this is all relative here, right? I think it's going to be a game in the 20s. I am not expecting overtime. I don't think either of these teams can handle another overtime game. There got to be gas coming into this one on Saturday. And again, good thing they get it on Saturday, especially Granite Hills gets the 2 extra days of rest, which I'm sure they needed after that one. I like Granite Hills here. Let me get it at 28-24.
My goodness. Yes. That game going to overtime would be fantastic, but also dramatic and drastic and horrible for the players. Everybody would be a little bit.
Hey, extra day of rest, man. It's a championship game. Let the boys play.
Last game of the season, Dan. Got to leave it out.
Can't hold anything back.
Division 4. Let's move back into the semifinals. Mount Miguel, they're going to take on Santana. Westview is going to take on Chula Vista to get to the finals. So, guys, I'm curious your thoughts on both of these games. Bodie De Silva from Scorebook Live. Let's start with you on Mount Miguel Santana.
Yeah, I have to go Mount Miguel here, the way they've been playing all year. I think they had that one hiccup against Bishops, but ever since then they've gotten back on track. They've just got players on both sides of the ball that can make enough plays. So as the top seed, not some unexpected pick, but I expect them to move on.
Tommy Morris, your thoughts, Mount Miguel Santana?
Yeah, I mean, you look at similar scores against similar opponents, and this should not be a close game. This is not a knock on Santana. Mount Miguel's was very good. You know, a team that we had circled is probably going to win Division 4 without much of a fight, and that's what it's looking like. So I got Mount Miguel.
Let's move on to the other side of the bracket. We've got Westview and Chula Vista. Chula, this would be a chance for a rematch with Mount Miguel. Are they going to make it through, or will Westview be back in the finals? Tommy, let's start with you.
Amari Gomez last week for Westview, 129 rushing yards and a touchdown. But on the other side, Chula Vista, another good running back, Paul Alvarez, 104 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Give me Chula. Give him a rematch. Let's see what happens in, Chula, Mount Miguel, round 2. The view versus the mountain.
Bodie De Silva, your thoughts?
Yeah, I have to agree there. For Westview, they grinded out a win last week, beating Bonita Vista, but I think that comes to an end here. Chula Vista's been impressive, had some really good wins throughout the year. I think they'll get their chance to get into a title game.
All right, let's move on to Division 3. Mission Bay, Grossmont is game number 1. La Jolla Country Day, Fallbrook is game number 2. Let's start with Mission Bay. They have been a team that has proven throughout the last couple of years that they are capable of making deep, sustained playoff runs, so they know how to make big-time plays. They are the 1 seed. Bodie, you've been very consistent on not changing your picks from round to round. Are you sticking with Mission Bay here?
Yeah, so I had this bracket actually has probably gone the best for me. I had Mission Bay against Fallbrook, and I had La Jolla Country Day as my sleeper team. So all of them are still alive. With that said, I think I was a little surprised, not that Mission Bay won last week, but that it was 14-0 against El Cap. I think that I would have expected higher scoring there. Going up against Grossmont this week, I would be shocked if Mission Bay can shut them out. Now, with that said, I still think Mission Bay wins, but Grossmont scored 22 against Granite Hills. They can score against the best of them. I like Mission Bay to move on and get into the finals here.
Tommy, you've talked a little bit about the Grossmont offense this year being one of the ones that you like. You occasionally like a road doggy upset here.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to give a big shout out to Mission Bay's defense. 14-0 against El Cap. That is a very great accomplishment, especially in the playoffs. Anytime you put up a 0 come win or go home time, that's a huge thing. But Grossmont just squeaked by Santa Fe Christian. I don't know. I think what does scare me though is that 14. If you're Mission Bay, I thought they would put up more points in that. Again, it's hard to complain when you don't give up any. But I like Grossmont here just because I think their offense is a little more capable than El Cap's and defensively about the same. So give me Grossmont and a score like 28-17, something like that, upset win for Foothillers.
Bodie, you mentioned Fallbrook in the start of your description, but also that Country Day was your upset potential team. Let's talk about this game then. Are you able to give yourself the room to talk into Country Day being the victor here, or what do you got?
Yeah, I think with what they've done so far, you have to 36-8, 35-7. Really just keep exceeding expectations each week. They'll have their hands full with Chris Bosch this week and kind of shutting down that rushing attack. But what Jaden Mangini has done and continues to do has been really impressive. So I'll go with Fallbrook here, but I think this is really close. I think this is less than a touchdown. I think Fallbrook comes out. Just they have that home game, little bit of an edge there. But what La Jolla Country Day needs to be applauded because they've certainly made a run and put themselves in a great situation.
Tommy, give me some La Jolla Country Day homerism.
Okay, I'll give it to you. La Jolla Country Day is going to win this game. I think
simple enough.
If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember which games Mangini missed towards the middle of the year, but the record with him at quarterback is I don't think all 3 losses were without him. I know for a fact he played the Bishops game. I can't remember Santa Fe Christian, but actually, forget what I said there. I think he played both those games. Anyway, Jaden Mangini, 5 total touchdowns, 349 total yards in the win over West Hills. I do believe Fallbrook's a better version of West Hills, but that game was so lopsided, it felt like, for Country Day, that even a better version of West Hills, I think, will have trouble with the Tories. I like La Jolla Country Day here, about 21-17, somewhere around that range. And that would set up a very interesting finals there with Grossmont.
All right, let's move on to Division 2. Tommy, I know you are driving right now, so hopefully your reception stays strong.
I'm in the car.
This, Bodie Da Silva and I will maintain the best we can to keep pushing on forward as we got our first game of Del Norte and Point Loma. Second game is La Jolla, Rancho Bernardo. This is fantastic. I mean, all of these brackets are good football, but this is fantastic football in both of these games. Bodie, let's start with Del Norte and Point Loma. Del Norte is the 1 seed. You've been big on the 1 seed. You've been big on not changing your picks. Your thoughts here on Point Loma, either making it back to the finals for the second year in the row or Del Norte getting to the big game.
Yeah, my initial prediction when the brackets came out in this one was La Jolla over Del Norte. I'm going to stray away from that a little bit here and go with Point Loma. They've been really impressive. One of a couple teams that has had to go on the road. I know they're the higher seed, but they had to go to San Pasqual first round because of that. The league champion rule handled business there. They got past them, then came up with a big 20-point win over Scripps last week. So the way they're playing, I think Point Loma takes this one again. Only the second ever matchup between these two schools, and last year was in playoffs as the first one. So I think Point Loma gets it done again and into the title game.
A little bad blood playoff rivalry brewing between Del Norte and Point Loma. I like that in exclusively postseason history. Tommy, if you can hear us, if you have any reception from the mountains that you are driving through, please let us know your thoughts on this game.
Should be a good one.
Fair enough. Love it. Next game, we got Rancho Bernardo La Jolla, a rematch from earlier this season, a game that Bodie Da Silva will start for us.
Yeah, for these two, only the second time they've played, and you mentioned the first one was earlier in this year. So I think a rarity there for two schools that have been around for pretty long time at this point. I like La Jolla before the brackets came out. I think they get their revenge and they come through and get a big win this week.
Certainly seems like you win another one for La Jolla and then sustains a couple years. We would have won one when the COVID year was going to happen. A little dynasty, who knows? Tommy, if you can hear us on this one, let us know with the basic facts.
Yeah, so if you remember, I gave this pick in the very beginning of the video. So if you rewind all the way back to the front of the video, make sure you get to the front and then rewatch this whole entire thing so you can get my pick because it was right in front.
He did. You're absolutely right. Excellent callback. How you opened up the show with that as your first line. I really hope we were hit record at that point. Like Tommy said, go back, rewatch the whole show up until.
And if you don't see it, then that means you haven't watched the full thing yet. It's a secret bonus thing, so you got to keep rewatching this episode over and over.
You only get it if you hit like and subscribe.
Yes, correct.
That's the only way to get Tommy's pick. On to Division I, Madison, bro. They stopped giving up points like 2 weeks ago. It's crazy. It's insane.
3 weeks.
Going.
Yeah.
They're going to take on Saints in one of the semifinals, El Camino, Mission Hills in the other one. So City and North County semifinals. Each group's going to get to send one on to the championship. Let's start with Madison Saints. Bodie, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is one where both teams are very familiar. They've played, since 1968 was the first matchup. And for this year, they played just a few weeks ago, I believe a month ago. It was a 34-14 Saints win. And since then, Madison is 81-0 in 3 games. Like you said, the defense has stepped up, not giving up a point. A couple of road playoff wins in a row. I believe them and Point Loma, two of the only road teams to win 2 road playoff games so far. I think a really tough one to pick here. Ultimately, I think Saints can come through. I think they just have a little bit more offensively, but I think this is one where it's probably first to 20. I mean, I think this is like a 24-20, a 21-17, somewhere in that range, where every possession is going to be so important. So I'll go with Saints coming out ahead, and congrats to the Madison staff for giving some more motivation there to the guys.
Congrats, Madison, on making the finals. Tommy, your thoughts?
2x motivation. I got Saints also in the first game. Brady Palmer threw for 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I think this is it's tough to unsee that first matchup, even though, like you said, Madison hasn't given a point since, but I got Saints here.
Let's close out Division I. Tommy, will stay with you. El Camino, Mission Hills, a North County battle. What do you got?
Similar thing. This is a rematch from October 19th. Mission Hills won that 21-7. I don't think that much changes in between now and then. So I got Mission Hills again. I'll change the score, though. Let me get 11-24. 24-11. Mission Hills.
Bodie Da Silva from Scorebook Live. Close us out on Division I, please.
Yeah, I think my biggest surprise here is that this will be the 12th time that these two teams have ever played, and Mission Hills is 11-0. That really surprised me there. I will go with them to get their 12th one here. I just think they have a little bit more offensively, and they've been playing well. They've been playing well down the stretch. So I'm going to go with let's go 17-12 here, with maybe a possible scoregami one here in the Division I semifinals.
So at 11-0, not a rivalry. Decidedly a one-sided history.
Yeah, I think there's a case to be said for that.
All righty. Well, thank you. As Tommy
Hey,
said,
best 12 out of 23 though. So they got everyone knows.
Exactly. Best 12 of 23. That starting now. Best 12 of 20. Going forward.
That's how I used to play like in recess. If I ever lost, you keep adding the series until the other kid just gets too tired to keep wanting to play one-on-one. So you never lose. It's a good trick.
Just max out the stamina, just heady play. Hell yeah, I'll stay here for 43 games if that's what.
No, we're going best of 5. No, we're going best of 7. No, you just keep going.
Very nice. And occasionally throw in a best of an even number just to confuse them.
Oh, I should have done that.
Best of 10.
I never even thought about that.
Just looking around like, what?
Smart.
I don't even know what that means.
On aggregate.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yes.
If only I grew up in Europe, I would have had that dialed in.
Exactly. Or in the time of open division sports. Now that's what everyone is obsessed with. All right, folks, go check out those games. Like we said, Friday, Escondido, 7:30. That's the Division 5 matchup. Escondido 1 p.m. Saturday for 5AA, and Snapdragon 7 p.m. Saturday night for open.
Yeah, get out to Snapdragon Saturday. Unlike last year, it's not on the same night as the semifinals, so I'm expecting a bigger crowd there this year, and great environment, and hopefully we won't mess up the grass too much down from the ground level.
Oh, yeah.
sensitive subject there.
No, I mean, like, I get it. You got to make sure that the grass is green and good so that you can not score against Nevada.
Well, it'll be good for Kingsbury's Aztecs next year. So,
there's a little prediction right there.
Man, Verlaine's gonna take the job.
There you go.
He hasn't said he isn't yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When Verlaine is denying things, Verlaine denies things.
Yeah, Verlaine, if you're watching this, we need a statement saying you're not leaving to the San Diego State show.
Yeah, exactly. I need to consider this an official. We are shining a spotlight here, Verlaine. I need a commitment to Mount Miguel. I need to hear that you are actively not pursuing the SDSU job.
Statement from the agent.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, there we go. We need one from your agent. Because, if you go, you're going to take Matthew Barton with you. He's just going to conveniently graduate someday and then just happen to go to SDSU. You know how it is. All said in jest. I think that anything for SDSU football is up from here, and hopefully nothing but local kids end up populating that, because we do have good local talent, and more should stay here. On that note, we will say go check out all these games Friday, Saturday, and we will talk to you guys next week.